What is up, everybody? My name is Squigga, and today I'm bringing you some Are You Battling here on Pokemon Showdown. Let's introduce you guys to the team. We have Schwing the Doublade, Atomic Annie the Clawitzer, Dropkick the Hitmonlee, Reuniclus, Heavyweight the Rhyperior, and Boomer the Amoonguss. Let's look for a battle without any further ado. I still can't get that word right. Alright, so we got one versus Steve Angelo. Hasn't your mother ever told you not to use real names as your username? We got Pangoro, we got Slowking, we got Amoonguss, we got Emboar, we got Steelix, and we have Cresselia. Oh, I hate Cresselia. So I think I am just going to lead with Rhyperior here, since he does set up our rocks. It would be unfortunate if he led with the Slowking, but I think he's just going to lead with Steelix and go for his own rocks. But he does lead with the Slowking, obviously predicting our Rhyperior lead. Now, the question is, if this guy is willing to predict turn 1 like that, is it worth staying in and going for the Stealth Rocks, predicting him to go for, say, a Psyshock? I think the answer is no, because, I mean, honestly, we'd just be in trouble if he went for a Scald. Now, I'm pretty sure he'll be packing Fire Blast or Flamethrower or something like that. Pretty sure Slowking gets both of those. So it's not entirely safe to switch into Schwing, our Doublade. But I don't think he'll be packing like Shadow Ball or anything like that. So I think it is alright to bring out Reuniclus right now, who is pretty naturally especially bulky. He does just go for the Scald, which does 51% and burns us. That's horrible. Oh no. Oh, that did so much damage. Oh my goodness. We're so much slower because we want to set up that Trick Room. There's no way we can do that now. He's just going to Scald again. Is that Choice Specs? My goodness. We're going to go out into Boomer. We can't let Reuniclus die like that. This is a Trick Room team. He goes for the Scald, resisted 20%. There's no way that's not Specs. That has to be Specs. So I think he's probably going to switch out here. He doesn't have... He has his own Amoonguss. He has his own Amoonguss, which is a fairly safe switch-in for him. He could also bring in Cresselia on us now. On the off chance, if he does bring in Cresselia, I would very much like to put it to sleep, but a Foul Play would also be nice, which will hit the Amoonguss, as he does go into his own Amoonguss, so it's good that we went for the Foul Play, even if it only does a measly 11%. So let's see, there's really nothing that we can do to this Amoonguss, there's really nothing he can do to us either. I'm tempted to stay in and just go for a Clear Smog and see what this Amoonguss is packing, but that could be risky for us. This is most likely a defensive Amoonguss. I haven't seen an offensive Amoonguss in a very long time, so it could also be safe for us to switch out into Reuniclus, but because I'm not really fearing anything that this Amoonguss is going to do, I think I am just going to stay in and scout out with a Clear Smog. It's probably a speed tie here, so toss up who goes first. He goes for Spore, and it fails because, of course, we are a Grass type. Our Clear Smog does 13%, which is not great. Now, Amoonguss is going to outspeed Reuniclus. So, if he goes for Spore again, we're in pretty good shape, because we can switch in Reuniclus, who is already burned, to absorb that. But if he doesn't go for Spore and he goes for an attacking move, there is a chance we lose our Reuniclus. Though, I mean, honestly, I don't see a better switch-in on his team. Like, maybe Cresselia? Yeah, scratch that, definitely. Cresselia, never mind. So here I think we are going to stay in and Clear Smog again to see what he goes for. He goes for his Sludge Bomb, which does 26%, which is obviously more than our Clear Smog is doing at 13. We are going to see Black Sludge Recovery from both parties. I think now the only thing to do is go out into someone faster who can deal some solid damage on this thing. Chances are he's physically defensive. He has grass, poison. Our best switch in here may just be heavyweight, and even if he decides to go for Spore this time, it's okay to have Rhyperior asleep, I think. He goes for the Sludge Bomb, which does 6%, but poisons us. Oh my goodness. We are having a run of bad luck this time around. So I think we are just going to go... Is this thing going to outspeed us? Probably. What's my Boomer speed? 96? Maybe not then. Maybe we are going to get these Stealth Rocks up. Does he have a Rapid Spinner? I don't see one. Does Crest get defogged? Maybe Crest gets defogged. We are just going to go for Stealth Rocks here. Since he poisoned us, he can't put us to sleep, which is cool. He's going to Giga Drain, which is obviously super duper effective. It's going to do a ton of damage. We're down to 22%. I don't see any point in keeping Rhyperior alive. He's poisoned, he's low health. I think our best bet here is probably just to go for a stab Earthquake, a neutral Earthquake on this thing, which is what we're going to do. He might use this as a free switch in. He could go... No, he's just going to take the 36% in Giga Drain to get back up to 74, and then after Black Sludge, 80. Luckily, we do get a safe switch in here, and we do have our rocks up, so we're still in a pretty decent position. I think I'm going to bring in Reuniclus and go for that Trick Room now. Because Amoonguss is not going to want to stay in on a Reuniclus. We are going to click Trick Room and see what he brings in. Cresselia, I think, more or less will wall me. He could bring in the Pangoro here, who is also pretty slow. He does bring in Pangoro. We are going to get that Trick Room up. We have 4 turns of Trick Room. We have 58 speed, so I'm confident that we are, in fact, slower. Our Focus Blast should kill this thing. Does Pangoro get Sucker Punch? I'm going to say no, and I'm going to go for the Focus Blast. I mean, it would make sense if he did. He's just going to withdraw and go on to Cresselia, so he goes for the double switch. The Focus Blast does 18%, which isn't terrible. Now we are going to go for our Shadow Ball on this Cresselia, which does 48%, which is nice. He's going to go for Moonlight, so he's just going to try and stall out our Trick Room turns here. Unfortunately, I don't know that there's an awful lot we can do about that, because switching out into anyone is fairly risky, knowing that Crest generally carries Moonblast. And we do have a fairy weakness on Dropkick, who... Well, I wouldn't switch Dropkick in anyway. Honestly, though... Maybe bringing in Doublade is the right play here. We only have that 1 turn of Trick Room left after we switch here. He's going to go for Moonlight to go back up to full. We get that 1 turn of Trick Room left. I think we are going to use it. I imagine he'll switch out Cresselia here. Pangoro's a pretty decent switch for our Doublade. But because I think he's going to switch, I am going to go for a Swords Dance and see if we can get some decent damage off on, say, Pangoro, who he does go into. We see the damage on Pangoro. Our Trick Room fades, obviously unfortunate, but Pangoro's going to do a lot to us with, like, I don't know if he gets Knockoff or Night Slash or a Dark Stab move. He's going to hit us with a Dark Stab move here. Dark. I think our best bet is to go for an Iron Head and see how much damage we can do at +2 attack. Use of the Knockoff, which is super effective and does 47%, taking away our Eviolite, but our Iron Head is just going to take him out, which is great for us. That is 1 big threat gone. Unfortunately, we still aren't in a great position here. We do have the rocks up, as I've said before, and as you can see, which is nice, because I don't think he has a way to get rid of him. But out comes Steelix. An Earthquake from Steelix will 100% kill us. 100% kill us. I also don't really have anything that wants to take that Earthquake. I really don't. What do we have? Do we have anything that's super effective on this guy? We have Drop Kick, but I think honestly, I think he'll just go for Stealth Rocks. He might just opt to kill us here, but if he does, that's okay, because we'll get a free switch into Drop Kick, who should force this thing out, or at least do a solid chunk of damage to him. All the same, in case he does, if he does just go for the Earthquake, I am going to want to get the extra damage off with Shadow Sneak, because this thing is faster than us. We do 20% with Shadow Sneak, as he does just go straight for the Earthquake and take out Schwing. I think we are going to snap switch into Hitmonlee, seeing that our Shadow Sneak did a decent chunk, and I'm fairly certain a high jump kick would take this thing out. I don't think he would be packing Protect, but I could be wrong. I am going to go for the high jump kick, hoping that he does not. We'll see what he decides to do here. He could very easily switch out into Cresselia or Slowking. Yep, there's Slowking. So oh, we get a crit, and it does 78%. That is likely going to matter. I mean, we are faster, and we have the knockoff, and Slowking is really only specially defensive, so in hindsight, I don't think it mattered. Slowking's slower than us as well. I mean, Slowking, right? So we are going to go right for that knockoff here to take this thing out. He was Choice Specs, so not even Assault Vest. So, all right, it's nice having that Slowking. It's nice having that Slowking gone. We'll see what he switches into here. Probably Amoonguss. Amoonguss is definitely the safest switch, but he goes into Cresselia, probably hoping to get a Moonblast off on us. I don't want Dropkick to die, but his special defense is so naturally high, I think he can probably take... He'll be at 71%-ish from the Life Orb damage. I think he can take a Moonblast, so I am going to stay in and knock off and see how much we do. We get another crit and do 70%, knocking off the leftovers. We do go down to 71% as he just Thunder Waves us, which is interesting. That means that he will outspeed to go for probably a Moonlight here, which really makes me think that it's safe to bring in Reuniclus. Although if he goes for a Moonlight, our knockoff, a critical hit from knockoff did 70%, so a knockoff will not take him out. Nothing else we have will either. I think our safest bet here is to go back out into Reuniclus and go for that Trick Room again, as he does Moonlight. So here we are going to Trick Room. He Moonblast, which does 17%. We are going to get our Trick Room up. Chances are he's just going to Moonlight again here, which makes me feel like we might be better off bringing in Dropkick, but our Shadow Ball still does decent chunks. We will be able to whittle this thing down with Shadow Ball. So that's what we're going to go for. We get 47% damage on that as he Moonlights back up to 71%. Just ticking down the turns of Trick Room. We get another Shadow Ball off. He goes for another Moonlight. What an exhilarating turn of events. Shadow Ball does 47. We really just need the special D-drop, or we need a crit. That's what we need from this. Get another Shadow Ball off, doing 49% as he goes for the Moonblast. Our Trick Room is gone. I could set up another Trick Room here. He's probably just going to Moonlight. On the off chance he doesn't Moonlight and goes instead for a Moonblast, Shadow Balling would be amazing. The question is whether or not he would over-predict us and go for the Moonblast over the Moonlight. This guy plays it pretty safe, I think. I'm just going to go for the Trick Room, as we mostly... No, he goes for the Moonblast! Oh, no! Oh, we should have Shadow Balled. But we are going to outspeed now. He might switch out. No, I think he'll just leave the Crescent to die. I think we're in a good position either way. Alright, so we do see the crest go down. So honestly, getting the Trick Room up was better than just Shadow Balling there. So I am glad that that happened. We see, that's right, he has the Mega Steelix. I had almost forgotten. We should outspeed this thing because of Trick Room, and we are going to go for a Focus Blast and hope that it lands and does a solid chunk of damage. Come on, Reuniclus. Focus Blast always makes me so nervous. He double switches out into Amoonguss, baiting that Focus Blast. We still have turns of Trick Room left, though, and we are packing Psychic, so we're just going to go straight for the Psychic here. If he switches again... Alright, he's trying to stall out... He's trying to stall out the Trick Room turns, I guess. I mean, he's taking Stealth Rocks down. I'm fine with this. This is an elaborate strategy by my opponent. The question is whether or not he would bring in the Amoonguss again here. Psychic did 33% to Steelix. I think I would... Even if he does bring in the Amoonguss, I would so much rather Focus Blast to kill the Steelix. Then again, the Steelix is more valuable to his team, I think. So maybe he would switch out. We're going to Psychic again and hope that he does keep playing the switching game back into the Amoonguss. Nope, he is going to stay in as he goes for Stealth Rocks, which is okay. That is okay by us. Now he's liable to just go for an Earthquake or something here to outspeed us. We don't have a good switch in for that. Honestly, I think our Reuniclus is just gonna go down here. So we do see Reuniclus go down. Unfortunately, because Dropkick is paralyzed, he is not an ideal switch-in for this Steelix any longer. I think... How fast is Steelix? Steelix might be slower than Clawitzer. We're going to bring in Clawitzer. We are going to take 12% off of Stealth Rocks. Unfortunate, obviously. Now I'm pretty comfortable going for a U-turn here. I could also go for an Ice Beam, but if he went into Emboar on the Clawitzer, that would be so ballsy. I don't think he would do that. I'm gonna Ice Beam in case he decides to... No, he's not gonna switch. He has Stealth Rocks up. So the Ice Beam is gonna take out Steelix. We are locked into it now. Because we are choice specs. He doesn't see the Life Orb. He might think we're Assault Vest or something like that. No, he goes right out into Emboar, so he is definitely anticipating another Ice Blast. Or Ice Beam, rather. So I think our best play here is going out into Hitmonlee and probably just letting him die. We are going to go out into Hitmonlee. He goes for the Wild Charge, which is enough to take us out. We are going to see that recoil, so this is probably Reckless Emboar. We are going to go... If we go right out into Clawitzer again, this guy likes making plays. But he has the Wild Charge, and he probably outspeeds us. So I think the safe play here is going into Boomer, even though I don't like it because his own Amoonguss walls ours. Switching in a Grass type on a Fire type. He probably has Flare Blitz. Honestly, I just need him to keep taking damage. If he stays in, getting the Spore off will be incredible, but he doesn't. He goes out into his own Amoonguss, which is also fine because we are going to see that Emboar continue to take Stealth Rocks damage as he switches in. Of course, we also know that we can't really do anything to this Amoonguss. We'll just go for Foul Play. Yeah, we know that if he gets a Spore off on our Clawitzer, this is basically over. I think Clear Smog did more damage. So I think we are just going to sit in here with these Amoonguy, just kind of throwing punches at each other. I don't know whether or not Amoonguss actually outspeeds Clawitzer. Clawitzer is very slow, and I am not invested in speed at all. We get a crit on the Clear Smog, doing 19%, which is not going to be relevant unless we keep doing it. Unfortunately, this is going to drag out a little bit here. Goes for the Sludge Bomb, does 28%. Go for the Clear Smog, does 12%. See, I almost put the Sludge Bomb on this Amoonguss, but I wanted, with the Trick Room, I figured maybe Clear Smog would be better in case anybody faster wanted to set up on my Trick Room user. Of course, in this particular situation, it is not necessarily working out for us. He is most likely going to keep Sludge Bomb. We have 154 speed, and we have 96 speed on Boomer. The big issue is that we will be locked into whatever we choose on Clawitzer after our Amoonguss dies. So if we go for the Scald, his Amoonguss is... unfortunately, I don't have especially high hopes for this one. He is going to keep Giga Draining, just in case we switch in that Clawitzer, I guess. I would honestly love to switch in the Clawitzer. He just Giga Drained. Would he Giga Drain twice in a row? He doesn't have a history of doing it. Oh my goodness. This is... I think this game is over unless we... Oh, it might be over anyway. The Emboar is so strong against our team, packing that Wild Charge and almost definitely the Flare Blitz. I don't know that switching out into our Clawitzer is actually going to do anything for us. I mean, I could predict the switch into Emboar and go for like a Scald on him, and if that killed the Emboar, we would be in a very good position because I would be able to switch my move. We're gonna go for it. This might be terrible. We might just get dunked here, but we're gonna see. He goes for the Giga Drain, which is super effective, and takes him back up to a nice chunk of health, which really stinks for us. Again, though, we're in a position where we're kind of going balls to the wall at this point. If he brings in the Emboar, expecting an Ice Beam, that would be amazing for us. If he stays in and we don't Ice Beam, that would suck for us. But because it's a gamble, no matter what we do, I think we are going to stay in and Scald, hoping that he switches into the Emboar. But he just stays in and goes for the Giga Drain. So unfortunately, it looks like we have lost this one. I think we are just going to go ahead and do the gracious thing so that we don't just sit here with a Moon Guy. I think we are going to go ahead and forfeit this one. And we are going to look for one more battle. We find one versus Too Much Swag for You. Alright. He's got Moltres, Gastrodon, Registeel, Rotom Cut, and Cincino, I think is that thing's name, and Hitmontop. So, probably sets up the Rocks on Registeel. If the Moltres is Scarfed, he's totally safe to lead with it. But I think he's gonna lead with Registeel. Well, we're gonna lead with Rhyperior to try and get those rocks up early, just to see. He does lead with Gajeel, his Registeel. Let's say Fairy Tail, right? Fairy Tail. I am tempted to just go for an Earthquake, but I know Registeel can be very physically bulky, so I really want to get those rocks up. He does go for his own set of Stealth Rocks. Now, the most obvious switch here is probably Hitmontop. He could also stay in and go for an Earthquake, seeing how much it does. I mean, if I think he's going to bring in Hitmontop, I might want to Roar. We're gonna Roar. We're gonna predict a switch and Roar, because I don't think an Earthquake would do anything to Hitmontop. No, he's just gonna Iron Head. because it is super effective. We're going to roar him out. Oh my goodness, into Moltres. That is very nice. Now, honestly, I don't know that he's going to switch because Stealth Rocks does so much, so I think we're going to stay in and Rock Blast. He has hidden. Oh, it takes down to 1%, and we are going to get the Rock Blast off to kill the Moltres, which is excellent for us. Good job, Heavyweight. Good job, Heavyweight. That's a huge threat to our team gone. Hidden Power is just so weak. No matter how strong the Pokemon, it's just such a weak move. He goes out into Cappuccino, his Mincino. This thing gets Technician, Skill Link, and Cute Charm. I think we're just gonna like Earthquake here. He's probably just gonna take us out with a Fake Out or something. Nope, just goes for the knockoff, which does kill us, unfortunately. This thing is straight normal, so I think the obvious switch in here is Hitmonlee. Because his own switch is so obvious, oh my goodness, I'm so afraid of over-predicting this kind of stuff, but because his own switch is so obvious, and he thinks, and he knows that I would have the Rapid Spin here, I feel like going for the high jump kick and killing the Mincino could be really cool. Alternatively, we could go for Mach Punch because there's a good chance he's max speed and would outspeed us. I think this thing is pretty frail. We're gonna Rapid Spin. We're gonna play it safe. I've overpredicted far too many times. I just want to play it safe at this point. As he does switch out, which is awesome, he goes out into Gary the Gastrodon. We are going to Rapid Spin and get rid of those Stealth Rocks. We do take the 10% Life Orb, and we see the leftovers on Gary. So this thing is only weak to Grass. I don't even think I have a Grass move on the whole team. Well, I have Giga Drain on Boomer. So the question is, why would he bring this thing in on us? Is it bulky? Is it defensive? Regardless, I think our safest switch-in is a Moongus here. He could predict us and go for a double switch. After all, he does have too much swag. Nope, he just goes for the Scald, which is resisted, does 11%. Now, I don't think there's any way he could afford to stay in on potential Giga Drain. The question is what he would go out into. Probably Registeel. I think Registeel is his best switch-in. I don't really want to put Registeel to sleep. I don't know. I think Spore is our safest play here because he could bring in something more threatening. No, he is going to go out into Rotom-Mow. Does this thing pack anything that would be super effective on us? I don't think so. So I think we're good to go for a Clear Smog. He might pull the double. But at that point, we're racking up Stealth Rocks damage, so it doesn't bother me too much. I'm always afraid of the double switch. Like, it really isn't that common, but I'm always trying to account for it. And I think that screws me up more often than not. Over-predicting is a very dangerous thing. He is going to switch out and go into the Registeel. Oh my goodness. See, this is why we play this game. I mean, if he just keeps switching, he's just going to keep taking Stealth Rocks damage, so I'm kind of okay letting him, like, go back and forth like this. We'll go for Spore. I mean, maybe he's just going to switch right back out into Rotom Cut, but nope, he's going to Thunder Wave us. As we do put the Registeel to sleep. Now, I would imagine he is going to switch. The question is, into what? If he thinks I would stay in with the Amoonguss, he would likely go into Rotom Cut or Hitmontop, maybe, to get rid of those rocks. I think we're going to go into Reuniclus here. He does go right out into the Hitmontop, so that works really well for us. I am tempted to just Psychic, I know this thing is pretty naturally specially bulky. Psychicking would be nice. It would do some really solid damage to this thing. But I would rather set up Trick Room, I think. Because if he's scared and switches out, which he could be, getting up a free Trick Room would be amazing for us. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And we'll see what he ends up doing. He goes right for the Fake Out, which does 24%. So is this might be... Yeah, no, we see the Life Orb. This is offensive. We're going to go for Trick Room. He doesn't get Knockoff. He does get Sucker Punch. But he is just going to switch out, which is awesome because we get our Trick Room up right here. So we are going to outspeed this thing and go right for a Focus Blast, I think. Hopefully we land that Focus Blast on either this thing or whatever he decides to bring in. Of course, this is probably also packing the Fake Out, which, because of priority, will just stall out a turn of Trick Room. Nope, we are going to land that Focus Blast and take out Cappuccino the Cincino. So we'll see what he goes into here. Yep, Rotom Cut. We don't have anything on Reuniclus to deal with this Rotom, though. So I think our best option here is to switch out. The question is into what? Probably a Moongus. And we're going to go back out into a Moongus. He goes for that Thunderbolt, which does 21%. So solid damage on us. We are going to outspeed because of paralysis. Hopefully we don't get fully paralyzed. Now, switching has been burning him for a while now, but because Trick Room is up, I'm inclined to think that he would switch into Registeel here. Especially after seeing how little that Thunderbolt did. So we could... Oh my good, are we getting too techie? We might be getting too techie. I wanna screw this up. I'm gonna go for a Foul Play, in case he does switch out into the Registeel, because it's still gonna do okay damage. He goes out into the Hitmontop, so our Foul Play is not gonna do very much damage, but hey, every little bit counts. Now I think... I mean, honestly, I think going for a Giga Drain on this thing is probably our best bet, knowing that it is offensive. He will, of course, still be packing that Rapid Spin, I'm sure. He is going to go for the Fake Out to stall out that last turn of Trick Room. We are going to stay in and Giga Drain again, because I don't really know what this thing has for us. We are physically defensive on this Amoonguss. He has Aerial Ace, which does a solid chunk of damage. Our Giga Drain does 23%. Which does not take us out of Aerial Ace KO range. Aerial Ace. And we're going to go into Doublade. Get that Regenerator recovery on Boomer, and he goes out into Gary the Gastrodon. That is the ballsiest switch I have ever seen. I just went for a Giga Drain. And, well, you know, alright. We're playing games. We're playing games now. Gastrodon is probably packing Earthquake, which will do a solid chunk, or Earth Power, or something to that effect. I can't remember if that thing's physical or special. It'll do a solid chunk to Doublade, if it's Earth Power especially. I kind of want to go back out into a Moongus, but playing the switching game at this stage, we're going to stay in an Ironhead. We're going to stay in an Ironhead and see how much this thing does to us. He goes for a Scald, which does 31%. Our Ironhead is resisted, of course, does 13%. I'm so bad with my typings. I'm so bad with my typings. So now, see, if he Scalds us again and gets a burn, we're in trouble. So So now I think, oh my god, this is such a redundant game. Maybe I go out into Clawitzer for a change of pace. But we can't do anything to this on Clawitzer. We're gonna go out into Amoonguss. We're gonna go out into Amoonguss. He does go for the Scald again, which is resisted. Oh my god. I don't know anymore. I'm just gonna Giga Drain. He's probably gonna go right out into Rotom Cut. Which is exactly what he does. But the Stealth Rock's damage, like I said, the Stealth Rock's damage is racking up, and we do actually get 15% off that Giga Drain, which is not bad at all. I kind of want to just keep Giga Draining. I think that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep Giga Draining. He tricks us a Choice Scarf as he gets our Black Sludge, which is awesome because now he's gonna be taking Black Sludge damage. I mean, we're choiced into Giga Drain, which is an interesting turn of events. He is going to go ahead and Volt Switch, knowing that we have only Giga Drain to offer, because he has tricked us that Choice Scarf. So out comes Gajeel the Registeel. Our Giga Drain is going to do, yeah, nothing. Nothing at all. Gajeel is still asleep, but we can't do anything to it with Giga Drain, so I think our safest switch here is to go into Reuniclus and try to Trick Room again. He is going to stay in and get up to full health. We are going to go ahead and go for a Trick Room. He might just stay in to stall out the turns of sleep, which is exactly what he's doing. But now we do have access to that Focus Blast, which is what we're going to go for, hoping that he still wants to be here. And he does, and it is 63%. He does wake up and go for Curse, which makes him slower, but is he slower than us? We are very slow. Hopefully this Focus Blast doesn't miss. I'm almost certain we will go first and kill the Registeel with the Focus Blast. If he decides to stay in. We missed the Focus Blast! No! Oh, I can't believe we missed... Oh my goodness, we have to go for it again. No, again! Come on, Reuniclus! You can't do this to me, buddy! How much did our Focus Blast do last time? 63%, so it will still kill him if it hits, but he might just switch out here. He's going to stay in, and the Focus Blast is going to hit, so we are finally going to take out that Registeel with our Reuniclus. Unfortunately, we do lose our Trick Room in the process, but we are sitting at a powerful 5-3 at the moment, so I'm hoping that we can still pull this one out. His Hitmontop is very low. And he is just going to forfeit the match. So I don't know if it looks like he left. But I am going to say GG, because that is the polite thing to do. We're just going to head back to the main menu. I hope you guys enjoyed these battles. There was an awful lot going on in both of them. If you did, remember to comment or like the video. I hope you guys did have fun with it. I know I did. So keep watching. If you want to see more videos like this one, there will be daily videos. I hope you guys had a good time. Have a good one, everybody.